How do you deal with the fact that the incentive structures are so different for disruptive companies than they are for mainstream? So in the Silicon Valley, it's easy to get an employee to try to risk something because their primary economic driver is equity compensation. I imagine in GE, for most of the people that you're trying to get to do this, it's a bonus, and it's tied to a set of financial metrics. So you did say you changed the incentive system, so I just want to ask you to go a little deeper. How do you change them, and how does that get reflected in day-to-day projects?
Yeah, I think it's a really important point, and we haven't figured it all out. So I'll tell you a few things, but time will tell if they're going to work out. One, we changed the incentive compensation for all the people in GE who get incentive compensation, and it's much more aligned around a long-term and some cash and margin, but there's a long-term factor in that as well. That was a big deal. And then what we've been doing is, depending on the function or the impact, so we brought a lot of software folks in, a lot of competition in the software arena, in the digital, artificial intelligence. We had to come up with a different incentive plan for folks who are working in that area. I'll give you one I've been working on very closely. We launched, we sort of recast our lighting business into something, part of it into something called Current, which is an energy efficiency, renewable energy on-site business. And we're paying those guys in much different milestones to speed, milestones to growth, putting together really a cap table, if you will, thinking like it's a startup, and incenting people. You got to get to yourself. This has been really hard, and I have to say HR has been a great partner in this, but you have to ask, like, if this team can create $1 billion of new value we didn't have, why isn't it worth paying them a percent that otherwise you're not going to have to pay anyway? So it's that kind of thinking. And the last thing I'd say is just, I think sometimes beware, and this is a big watch out I didn't expect. Some of the people want both. They want the security of the company and they want the upside. And I go, I do too. But so it's a real good test of the people, the Aarons of the world. There are some who actually can thrive in our companies. How much are you willing to risk? Would you put your own money in that? And I think you then start to know who maybe can go the distance on that.
Aaron, last comment.
Yeah, well, I'd want at least 2%. So,
yeah.
But no, I mean, to me, the exciting thing is that I think if you think about the past 10, 20, 30 years of technology innovation, it's tended to be very isolated within the tech industry. Where, I mean, probably half of this room, if you're in a tech company, is probably going after some kind of regulated industry that previously never had software before. So we're, quite literally at the center of a massive, industrial revolution. And I think that I think the stat is like 89% of the Fortune 500 has changed over in the past, 50 years or something like that. So it's very clear that the next, decade or so will be defining for which industrials survive and which ones don't. And certainly we believe the ones that use box will. So that's what we're betting on.